a fan of the Go Local program, and I hope everyone in here has a card or gets one really soon. So thank you, Terry, and Kelly Rajala for your great leadership in that. So my name is Mary O'Connor. I'm the founder of the Institute for Social Entrepreneurship, and I work with social entrepreneurs and visionary entrepreneurs who want to create a positive impact and create a positive future. And I've been doing this for about 16 years. I'm also a fellow of the Leadership Institute, and I co-teach at the School of Business at Sonoma State, which is a really groovy thing to do. So I believe that every social entrepreneur can easily and effectively achieve their goals when they understand the 7 secrets to increasing market share. How many of you actually have your own business currently? Can I see a show of hands? Okay, great. How many of you would like to have your own business? Okay, how many of you need a job and might be forced into having your own business sometime soon? Good. And how many of you want this year to be the best year you've ever had in your business? All right, good. So you may be interested to know that in Sonoma County, 90% of our businesses here are 5 employees or less. 90%. So what that means is that you are the dominant force in driving social and economic change in Sonoma County. As John Satan said earlier, small businesses are responsible for 95% of the radical innovation in the United States. And who are the most radical people in the United States? You are! You are the radical innovators that are going to drive the change and invent the products and invent the collaborations and the new thinking that's needed. So, all right. So I remember this day. It was December 1st, 1999, and my friend Lynn called me up and said, "Hey Mary, do you want to go to the rainforest over the holidays?" And what do you think I said? Yes. Yes! I said yes, I would really like to do that. And 3 weeks later, I found myself sitting in a small aircraft with 7 other terrified people, landing on a dirt airstrip in the middle of one of the most remote places on Earth. And we got out of the airplane and were led about 200 yards to a tributary of the Amazon, where we were taken another 2 hours inland to live with an intact tribe for the next 10 days. And you know that feeling where you made a decision that sort of changed the rest of your life? Well, that was one of those decisions. And that experience changed my life and how I did business from that point on. I learned a couple of really important things. I learned to stay open to things that seem impossible. I learned to tune in to myself and move in the direction of my dreams. And I also learned to stand up for something bigger than my own puny problems. Maybe some of you have discovered that as well. Oh, this is the wrong slide. This is the wrong slideshow. Okay, can I have my tech person back up here? This was last year's talk. So can I get, sorry, can you find
the
me?
secrets are all different.
The secrets are all different, but they're all really cool secrets, I promise you. So I'm going to keep talking. So by the end of this presentation, you will have at least 3 new ways of thinking about your business and innovative ways of marketing yourself. Would you like that?
Yes.
Okay, good. So as Dr. Gerling said earlier, the #1 criteria for us as social entrepreneurs and visionary entrepreneurs is that we are financially profitable. We cannot make an impact if we don't make any money. How many of you have come to realize that? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Michael.
What did you call it?
I called it, whatever's the most recent date. You should be able to find it by the date. Yeah, so date modified, da-da-da-da. So driving turbulent times right there, 5:13, 5:13. Wait, it should be 5:11, 12. Not this. 5, 11, 12, No. Oh yeah, that's it. Sorry. Yeah, that's it. I'm so sorry. I am not a tech person, that's why I'm a consultant. So, So that was my premise statement. Every social entrepreneur can easily and effectively achieve their goals when they understand the 7 secrets to increasing market share. There's our pictures of Happy Ecuador. And these are the 7 secrets. Okay, number 1, articulate your powerful big vision. Identify who is your ideal customer. Define your compelling offer. Clarify your marketing strategies. Understand that the fortune really is in the follow-up. Upsell to existing customers. And create a structure for accountability. So we're going to talk about this. Secret number 1, how to articulate your big vision. What is your why? What is the inspiration that had you start your business? Okay, so why do people stand online for 6 hours to buy the newest Apple product when the next 2 weeks later they can go in and buy it off the shelf?
Brainwashing.
They have no idea. Say that again, Michael?
I have no.
You have no idea. Well, dopamine. Well, it's a very interesting premise. And a guy named Simon Sinek, if any of you want to check out his TED Talk, did a very powerful TED Talk where he talked about people buy why we do it, not what we do. So why was Martin Luther King standing out among all the other ministers at the time for the advocacy of the ending of segregation? Because he didn't just promote ending segregation, he promoted equality for all people for all time. And that was a big difference. He had a much bigger vision, and it was a value that lots of people could align with. Now, Apple, whether you like them or not, they have values that speak to people who want to see themselves as entrepreneurial, as creative, as first to market, as pioneering. And they've really, remember Sony used to be that character, you know, in that industry space where when you had the first Sony product, you were hot. And that's how people feel when they get the first Apple products, right? So this is a very important thing because a lot of us forget to articulate what our big vision is. So when you think about it, what you think about, why did you start this enterprise? Why did you, what motivated you? What was that seminal moment where you woke up and said, God, this matters to me? You know, all of you are here because you care. You care more about other people. You care more about the planet. You know, we're here because we have a value system. That's why this conference is so exciting, because we get to be with other people who resonate with our values. So this is, I can't overemphasize this point, that knowing why you do things and speaking to people about that why, what your big why is really important. So I'm going to talk about 2 companies that I found that are really exciting. D-Light Design, and this is a solar-powered LED lamp. Because in the developing world, they don't have any electricity. So when nighttime comes, they actually can't work. They have to walk 2 days sometimes to get kerosene for their lanterns, and it's very toxic, and they're in very small houses, so it's very bad for their health. So this guy decided to start, you know, inventing. These 2 guys who graduated from an American university went and developed this LED lamp. They now have 50 employees. They market to people who make less than $5 a day in Africa and Southwest Asia. The families are now able to double their income because they're able to work in the evenings, which they couldn't before. And lamps, they cost between $15 and $40. They pay them off within a few months. And this company expects to earn $5 million. So that's somebody who just got a great idea. Marketing to the bottom of the pyramid. And this is something that our banks are starting to tap into, is that 2 billion people that exist on $2 a day, they actually spend money. But they don't spend money on what we think that they would spend money on. They actually buy, every one of them has a cell phone. And they use their cell phones in the most imaginative ways that help them feed their communities and save water and check prices so they're not getting ripped off by their local, you know, guy. Another company that I really like is Revolution Foods. How many of you have heard of Revolution Foods? Because they're here in the Bay Area. So Revolution Foods has 120 employees, 2 commercial kitchens. They deliver 20,000 lunches now to 100 schools in San Francisco and LA. And they're on track to make $10 million this year. And that's because one mother said, this food in these schools sucks. These kids were feeding them crap, and the kids don't, what are they going to eat whatever you feed them? And they are changing the game. I mean, this is one of the things, like, if kids could stay awake without that amount of sugar and not be all whacked out because all they ate was Cheetos and Red Bull for lunch. Can you imagine how much more learning would take place? Okay, so secret number 2. Who is your ideal customer? Now, you would think that that was really easy to determine, but I found that most entrepreneurs actually don't actually know. So this isn't just, what age are they, what sex are they, and where they live, but this is also like, what kind of people are they? What kind of values are they? We are in mission-driven businesses, so you want to find out, where do those people hang out? They're not on golf courses and country clubs like other businesses are, so where do you go? Sometimes they're at churches, sometimes they're at events like this. So you want to find out, where do my people hang out? And write down all the qualities of your ideal client, including age and income, and their values, and their personality type. And then I want you to identify, what are the six conditions that you must have. So, some of mine are, they must pay their bills on time. They must not be jerks. They must want help. They must be coachable. I mean, you would think that was a no-brainer, but I found out the hard way. I had to write it down. Okay, so secret number 3 is define your compelling offer. So this is what people call your audio logo, your elevator speech. I'm working with people, I'm working with who is your client, what is their struggle, how do you help them, what is the benefit of your service, not how do you do it. People don't care that I was talking to somebody in the vendor fair, and he started explaining his water purification system. I said, look, nobody cares how it works. They want to know how it's going to benefit them. Everybody's thinking, what's in it for me? And so we need to be able to address that question and not wait for them to walk away before we remember that we didn't ask them anything. So, who is your client? So I'll give you, for an example, I will use mine. So mine is, I work with visionary entrepreneurs who struggle with getting new clients, and I enable them to double their sales within 60 days or less. And I do that through coaching and training. So you can use that formula, so I recommend that you use that formula. Who is your client? What do they struggle with? How do you help them? And in what ways do you provide that service? Does that make sense? Who has one that you have that's pretty good? How about you, Carolyn? Do you have one?
Who is my?
Can you say your compelling offer?
I'm saving the planet using my real estate license.
That's good. Did you ever hear her? Say it again. Stand up and say.
Saving the planet using my real estate license.
Saving the planet using her real estate license. So we could beef that up a little bit by actually saying, I'm providing the most.
I'm providing sustainable, eco-friendly, commercial property management and leasing, and we in our company are committed to greening every property that we touch in some way.
Perfect. So does everybody have a sense of that? Would you think? Do you even know that existed before she said it? No. So isn't it great to know that that's a person you could go to find commercial real estate? Wouldn't that be exciting? So all of you need to have that down, so you're not thinking about it when people are asking you. You need to have it down so it's easy and it rolls off your tongue and it doesn't seem like it's a contrived pitch. Okay, secret number 4 is to identify the top 3 to 4 marketing strategies that will effectively reach your ideal client and do them consistently. Okay, so what are marketing strategies? Okay, so there's 2 different kinds. There's direct marketing, and then there's indirect marketing. Direct marketing is when I interact directly with a potential customer. So in the old days, we used to do cold calling or door-to-door. Giving a presentation is a form of direct marketing, as long as I get your cards. I don't get your cards, it's not direct marketing, because I can't do what? I can't follow up. Thank you. So direct marketing is faster. You have more control over it. It's more efficient. So and it has a faster turnaround time. So if you want to market, and you need money now, you want to think about what direct marketing strategies can I employ. Indirect marketing, which is what we're moving towards, but it's a little slower. It's more passive. You don't have control over it. So how many of you have a website? Okay. So does the website necessarily bring you business? Sometimes, but not necessarily. Only if you do what?
Advertise, follow.
That too, but optimize your website. So I have one client who gets now 90% of their business comes from their website. Now that's really good use of a website, right? So it really pays to optimize your website. Don't have one. It's just like, it's like having a business card in the ozone. It doesn't do anything unless you actually have lots of ways for people to find you through the internet. Other ways of marketing. Okay. I have a client who just told me recently that a friend of theirs gets all of their business from Facebook. This guy does seminars and workshops, and he has so much popularity because he posts a half hour a day. And he only does that one marketing strategy, but he does it religiously. If he puts a little posting up that people like, he'll get 1,400 likes in 30 seconds. Now that is really good cachet. That is really using your marketing strategy. So the thing about your marketing strategy, you want to pick 2 or 3 or 4 ways, and you've got to do them religiously. You can't just do an e-zine in January and then June go, oh, you know what, I should send out another e-zine. The e-zines, which are your constant contact and newsletters, you got to send them out every 2 weeks. You got to be in the flow and provide really good content, right? Because how many emails do you get a day? 100 at least. And how many do you read? 0, because you're trying to find the ones where people want what you have to buy. So if you're going to do a newsletter, we need to provide some value to people, otherwise they're not going to read them anymore. If they're just promoting your stuff, right? So we don't need another promotional advertisement. We need something that's going to give us some good ideas. Okay. So secret number 5, the fortune really is in the follow-up. So you must follow up with people, whether you do it automatically or personally, but people need to know that they matter. So when people come to your website and they click that button and they don't get an autoresponder or something saying, oh, you just got, it's got to be like, people are now used to immediate responses. So you want to have those things done so that your responders go out right away with the message or with the product or the downloadable thing that you said. That's another way to keep building your list. I mean, that's one of the marketing strategies for most of us, is that we want to get in the habit of continuing to build our list, because the bigger your list is, the more people you're going to reach. So list building strategies, having affiliate partners is another really excellent strategy, especially for those of us in this room that have complementary services, so we can not step on each other's toes, but we can build that collaborative space. Okay. So, secret number 6 is upsell to your existing customers. So what do I mean by that? So how many of you just have one service or one product that you do? Oh, you all have multiple streams of income, huh? Okay. That's very good, unless you're just lying. So upselling means if you have a group of loyal people who actually like you, then you want to continue to always be launching, ABL, always be launching, always thinking about what's the next thing you can offer people, because if they've already, liked you, connected with you, can you offer them an information product? A lot of people that do services don't think about that, but you can do a simple how-to video or a how-to be more sustainable with your landscape, and get people back into that value creation loop. So you're continuing to create value for them, and you're also expanding your services. So you have now your 1095 ebook on how to generate more leads, okay? So that's how you can use, most people forget that they have a customer. And the first thing I always ask people when they say they need more business is, well, how many clients have you served in the last 2 years? When's the last time you called them? To contact your past customers and actually connect with them. They like you. Don't hide. We hide from them like they're going to tell us we did something bad. You didn't do anything. They like you. They're waiting to hear from you. Call them. And number 7, my personal favorite, is create a structure for accountability. So how many of you are a solopreneur? You work by yourself perhaps, or work out of your house? Yeah. So most people that I notice in that genre feel a little isolated. And partially that's sort of our default setting, is to isolate, but it's also creates no accountability. So if you're the only person checking on yourself, you're the only person checking on yourself. And we're not all that reliable, are we? So creating a structure for accountability can be as simple as, I have a client who just meets a friend every Monday morning for an hour, and they just go over what they're promising for the week, what they're going to do. It's a great idea. You can do that on the phone. You can join a coaching group. I happen to have a group called the Entrepreneur Success Program, and so I have 6 to 8 entrepreneurs, and we meet every other week for 3 hours, and I facilitate it, but it's an accountability group, so they make promises of what they're going to do, and then we check in about it. Now, accountability does not mean you're going to be punished. A lot of us are commitment phobics because we made commitments and we didn't do it. You are now forgiven. Close your eyes. I'm waving my magic wand. You're totally forgiven for all your promises that you didn't keep. Okay, restoring your sense of integrity. Now you can make another promise. Don't you feel better? So the way to leverage yourself is, like I said, activating your powerful big vision and stand in it. Make that declaration. Actually claim it. A lot of us are afraid to claim our big vision because we're afraid. You're just afraid. I know I was afraid. And I realized, no, people want to hear that. I mean, my personal vision is to create an army of social entrepreneurs that are changing the future of the economy by providing goods and services that are ecologically sustainable and socially equitable, and that they're profitable. And I want you in my army. Thank you. So, my offer to you, because since I'm an accountability coach, is that anybody who does their action items, so my invitation is to write down one thing that you'll take, one action you'll take in the next week that would move you towards your goal. And if you do your action, you can actually get, as a reward, a free 30-minute consulting session with me. But you have to put your card up here. Otherwise, I cannot do what? Follow up. Thank you. And I'll leave you with this favorite quote of mine, which is from Winston Churchill. Success is moving from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. And that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. I'll be here also in case you have any questions. And now, Michael Newell, are you coming up here?
I am.
Okay.
I probably don't need the microphone.
I was just going to mute it before we...
So I want to thank you all for being here. In case you don't know, you're now in the North Bay iHub.